We work to involve member businesses, individuals, civic leaders, nonprofits, educational institutions, in a collaborative effort with local, regional, and state officials. We're committed to building partnerships and continuing our involvement in the areas of business and economic development. We're proud to be one of the 14 co-sponsors of the event next Friday at Marvell. Thank you very much, Whaley, for hosting that economic summit. The results of the summits that are being held throughout California will feed into the Governor's Summit, which is May 11th. We're happy to be a part of the transportation issues, especially the electrification of Caltrain and how that is going to lead to the future of high-speed rail on the peninsula. As a part of the Bay Area Business Coalition, which are the partner organizations with Stampede, our collective work shapes the initial vision scenarios that are coming out of NCC and ABAD that result in the implementation of SB 375 and AB 32. So why does Stampede exist? Because I said when I started this, that San Mateo County is a great county. And why are we celebrating innovation today? Because recognizing these innovators whose actions and examples serve as a model for us for the best practices, both in business and in life, we are inspired and encouraged to strive for even greater things. Innovation is a fundamental pillar of our county's economy, and we are working to ensure that it continues to be an economic priority for both private and public stakeholders, whose investment, management, and support infrastructure create and sustain our competitive business climate. That's all you hear, folks, lately. Economic development, competitiveness, innovation. What makes the Bay Area so unique and what makes San Mateo County so unique? It's the companies that you will see receive their awards later this afternoon. Take a look around you. Just take a moment and look at the folks at your table and those at the other tables. We are so proud to bring together the best of the best. We believe that by coming together, by working together, and by leveraging our collective strengths, we can continue to meet the challenges head-on of today and set this county on a course for continued success in the future. So I invite all of you to join us. Join us and be a partner as we go forward and continue to make this county what it is today and what it can be in the future. So now, it gives me absolutely great pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, the Honorable Eshoo. I'm going to tell you just, let's have a round. When you think about how you want to introduce someone like this, so many things run through your mind. Because you can go on her website, which is fabulous, by the way, and you can find out about Congresswoman Eshoo's history. That she served 10 years on the Board of Supervisors. That she's been a member of the U.S. House of Representatives since 1993. In addition to what you have in the program, there's a bio in there. Congresswoman Eshoo also co-chairs the Congressional Internet Caucus, the E911 Caucus, and the House Metal Technology Caucus. Between 2002 and 2010, Representative Eshoo served on the House Permanent and Select Committee on Intelligence. She kept track of our intelligence agencies and made sure that they ran efficiently and effectively. She has authored legislation to protect both our national security and our civil liberties. During her time in Congress, she has shaped many pieces of legislation, creating the use of electronic signatures, making legally binding digital documents possible, securing funding for broadband deployment, health information technology, research, and education. because it's not the good that they do every single day that makes the news. I want to share with you just one example of the good, and I can feel myself getting goosebumps as I start to tell you what Congresswoman Eshoo did. In January, I had the privilege of being in a hangar at Moffett Airfield, where Carl E. Clark received the Navy and Marine Corps Commendation Medal with Combat Distinguishing Device from the Secretary of the Navy, Ray Navy. Mr. Clark is 95 years old, and this medal was awarded 66 years after the Battle of Okinawa, in which he saved his ship. His bravery and heroism was not recorded at the time because Mr. Clark was black. Sheila Dunning, Foothill College professor, brought this to Congresswoman Eshoo's attention, and for over 2 years she worked to have the Navy recognize Mr. Clark. It is her commitment to her constituents, to her family, and to her community that makes Congresswoman Eshoo who she is, and for that, we are absolutely honored to have her as our keynote today.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm thrilled to be here, and Roseanne, thank you for your very, very generous remarks. Whenever I hear someone introducing me, I always wish that my kids were in the room. So you were very, very generous, and thank you for inviting me to be here today with you. It's a great honor as you celebrate the innovators. And we're in I know that I'm in great company, and I think everyone else does as well. So to the officers and the directors of SAMCETA, I have to tell you that early this morning, I was thinking about Bud Bostwick. I don't know how many of you remember him, but if you do, raise your hand. He was the voice of SAMCETA many, many, many years ago, and one of the fathers of the organization, and he helped to keep the organization together and to move it forward. And Roseanne, thank you for your extraordinary leadership and what you're doing today. I know that Bud would really be very proud. Of course, to the distinguished honorees, to all of my friends that are here, and thank you for naming all of the elected officials that are here today, my colleagues in public service. So now I'm not going to name them all. But they're all important, and the work that they do and the partnerships that we have with one another are really essential so that we can act together, not separately, but together on behalf of our mutual constituents. It's great to be at ground zero of the economic recovery, and again, it's great to be here with you. I not only get to represent what is called the most distinguished congressional district in the nation, because it is the home of innovation. This is a place that is known across our country, admired around the world. Anywhere I've been, in any country, small, medium, or large, with fellow parliamentarians, with kings, with prime ministers, with whomever it might be, when they know that of the district that I represent, they nod. So everyone around the world knows where we are, who we are, and what we are about. And today, it's really appropriate that we're celebrating the creativity and the drive and the inventiveness and the accomplishments of some of the most gifted people in our region. People who are leading the nation to more solid economic ground and more sure financial footing. At every table, it says innovators on the card. This is in the DNA of the American people, of our great nation. When you think of the framers, of the founders of our country, they were the original innovators of the nation. And so this is part of our heritage. And if there's a region that takes it seriously, celebrates it, and continues to reinvent it, it is here. And that's why I think today is really exciting. And each one of you that are being honored, I think are amazing. You're adding thousands of jobs to the Bay Area economy, driving the unemployment rate down toward 7%. Now, we're not ever satisfied as Americans with the status quo. And 7%, maybe X number of years ago, we wouldn't be celebrating. But this is a distinguished figure in the country. Boosting home sales nearly 11% last month. And your ingenuity and your vision are the reason that 27% of all capital venture funds in the country are invested here. So I applaud you, I congratulate you, and I say enjoy the moment. And that's really what I want to talk to you about today, making the most of this moment to ensure that that there is continued prosperity and that you'll be able to continue it. SAMCETA not only survives and thrives because it's never been just about business. Your core message, business is good and business brings opportunity, carries a very special meaning as we climb out of the depth of this recession. For many people, your members are creating opportunities, and right now there's nothing better or more important than that. But if we're lucky, and the positive trend continues, you'll soon be engaged in much more. In the not-too-distant future, you'll be figuring out where to build your next lab, how to launch your next product, and the dividend that will be paid as a result of it. And there are, as we all know, a multiplicity of dividends, and we all look forward to that day. But in this one moment, before you're fully engulfed once again by the success that is already your hallmark, take a moment and consider the opportunities that exist to elevate your game as corporate citizens. As you grow, you want to know that our airports, our trains, and our ports can move your people and your goods. You'll want to know, you want to expand knowing that you have a reliable and a predictable supply of power and water, and that a skilled and knowledgeable workforce is right outside your door. Where and how you grow will be all about making the most of our natural resources and our collective treasury. You want housing prices and recreational facilities that make it easy for you to compete with the finest minds in the world. You want high-quality K-12 schools that give you a competitive advantage in bringing those wonderful geniuses and their families right here. And I'll wager you want to continue to operate at the crossroads of two world-class universities. We've had many discussions, as you know, about your continuing prosperity in the community and the communities are connected. That recognition is at the heart of SAMCETA's success. Collaboration that includes understanding and respect for what the nonprofit community, government, and public institutions contribute to the private sector's ability to produce. I'm not suggesting that you have any more important obligation than to give your shareholders and employees a good return on their investment and labor. I am suggesting that your ability to do that is directly related to your willingness to be a fully invested partner in building the kind of community that supports your success. The old model of business weighing in on public decisions at the last minute is long gone. Today, we need your buy-in early and your best thinking. We also need you to expect and accept that those of us in government must balance your short-term needs against the long-term community good, and that invariably you will benefit. This moment between slow and go in the economy should be used sure that there will be more to celebrate in the future. High-speed rail is on that list, and we are today, at this moment, on the threshold of creating a 21st century Caltrain, the spine of our transportation system. This is a huge achievement, and I think that I am so excited about it that I can barely speak, because 8 months ago, 18 months ago, 3 years ago, maybe even 8 weeks ago, I often wondered when I went to bed at night whether we would get there or not. Adrienne Tissier, the president of the San Mateo County Board and the chairwoman of the Metropolitan Transportation Commission, certainly Mike Scanlon, who heads up our transportation agency here, has helped to bring us to this moment where next week votes will be cast, where a multiplicity of public agencies are going to see to it that the full funding for electrification of Caltrain will take place. That is a victory. That is a victory for our environment. It's a victory for employers. It's a victory for commuters. But it's a victory for the people in this region that have had a consistent vision amongst all of the difficulties and the issues that have been raised by people in the community. And it does take vision, and it takes a collective vision to make these things work. So thank you to each one of you that have been involved in this. I couldn't be prouder, and I know that future generations are going to say that something noble and good was done by this generation. On that list of things that we have to keep our eye on certainly is bay conservation, open space preservation, energy infrastructure, and always, 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 education is on the list. As the ranking member of the subcommittee on communications and technology, that's a mouthful. It's the committee that I serve on, that's what it means. And I was elected last year to be the lead Democrat. And it took all of last year and the beginning of this year to oversee a really lengthy and complex process that resulted in something that you don't get to read about. It's not the talking heads are not on it. No one is congratulated. But my purpose from the beginning with the Republican chairman of this subcommittee is to make America #1 in broadband. Not 14th, not 17th, not 24th in the world, but #1. This is essential for this country in the 21st century. And so that resulted in